have a lot more work to do. It's only if they win will they go up on that list, and they'll go up a couple of places, so there's plenty to play for today. Now, as far as the draw was concerned, by quarter-final stage, we had the extraordinary situation where all 5 pairs who have won the 5 Super Series events up until now were all involved at quarter-final stage. The only pair not to have won a Super Series title so far this year are the Olympic champions, who are in the final against the Olympic silver medalists. So here come the Olympic champions, Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi. And they're the tall Danes, the pair that lost to their opponents of today in that Olympic final in Rio de Janeiro last year. Christinna Pedersen and Kamilla Juhl. The only final today to feature the number 1 and 2 seeds. And that is not a regular occurrence. You'd think it would be, with, especially with a discipline like women's doubles, when you think of recent pairs and the strengths of the Chinese pairs in women's doubles. I can tell you this is only the 25th time, and here we are in the 135th Super Series event. Only the 25th time in women's doubles that the number 1 and 2 seeds have played against each other as the Olympic gold medalists are introduced to the fans. And the Danes, the left and right-handed combination. In fact, the number 1 and 2 seeds playing against each other in a Super Series tournament final has happened more times in women's doubles than any of the other 5 disciplines. 25 times over 11 years and 135 events. You'd expect it to happen more than that, really, wouldn't you? So our umpire for this one is Kelly Hall from Australia. Richard Ting from Singapore is the service judge.
Black, red, you choose. Red, red it is. Black it is. You're going to serve. Who's going to receive? You're going to receive. You're happy with the same?
So that's decided about which end they will start and who will serve first, who will receive. Well, it was a thrilling final in Rio, in the Olympic final. But here, Misaki Matsutomo, the 25-year-old from Aizumi in Tokushima. She's not the tallest of athletes, as you can see, but she and her partner are enjoying their 108th week as world number 1s. Now, that's been over 3 different spells. Ayaka Takahashi from Kashihara City in Nara Prefecture is 27 years of age. Now, they were beaten finalists here 3 years ago, lost out to Tianqing and Zhao Yunlei, the former Olympic champions. And looking at their path through to today's final, well, in the quarterfinal they played their teammates Tanaka and Yonimoto, who had won the India Super Series event, and in the semi-final yesterday the number 4 seeds who won last week at the Indonesia event, Chen Qingcheng and Jia Yifan, another left and right-handed combination. So for the Japanese pair, 2 opponents running, comprising of a left and right-hander. And it is Kamilla Juhl who is the left-hander for the Danes, 33 years of age, born in Skagen. And a tall athlete, as you can see, that's about 6 foot tall. And the Danes are enjoying their 82nd week ranked number 2 in the world. And this is their 4th spell at number 2. They've never been past a semi-final here in Australia before. 2014 and 2015. Christinna Pedersen turned 31 last month. And looking at their results, well, they, like their opponents, had a bye in the first round. They had a real battle in the quarterfinal against Kim and Juhl.
Ready to play.
They had to save 3 match points. They were 18-20 down in that third game before winning it 23-21. And semi-final also had a tough battle against Fukushima and Hirata. In fact, they were 20-17 up in the second game, having won the first, but it was sent to a decider. Eventually won the match. The Danes on their 5th match point opportunity, an hour and 24 minutes. So this will be the 16th meeting between these two pairs. The last time they met was in the final of the Singapore Super Series event earlier this year. That was an hour and 5 minutes for that 3-game encounter. Well, ever since Australian Open has been part of the Super Series, it has been Chinese pairs who have won the women's doubles title here. So if the Japanese pair were to win, they will obviously become the 6th different pair to win the women's doubles title at the 6th Super Series event of the year. And from a neutral's point of view, as we look at the Danish coaches, that would be wonderful for world badminton. But Steen, seeing as you're a Dane, I can understand that perhaps you would like to see the Danes winning a 2nd Super Series title of the year.
Yeah, I don't understand that neutral stuff there.
On my right,
Never really understood it.
Misaki, Matsutomo, Ayaka, Takahashi, Japan.
Yeah.
And on my left, Kamilla, Rytter, Christinna, Pedersen, Denmark. Christinna Pedersen to serve to Ayaka Takahashi. Love all. Play.
So the Olympic silver medalists, the European champions, Christinna Pedersen and Kamilla Rytter getting this final underway against the pair that beat them in the final in Rio at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, we just saw a picture of a Japanese coach here, and he was pointing at the cameraman, and that was because he pushed to the camera that Hawkeye is using for determining the shot, whether it's in or out on court. Seemed like he moved the camera a little bit, so hopefully it's not going to disturb
Service over.
Hawkeye's ability to decide the final calls.
Ooh, was that going out?
Yeah, I think we were going to win.
Oh, I don't believe that. Just swung a racket at it and made contact. It's phenomenal. Oh, that was extraordinary, wasn't it?
2-1. Change. Shuttle.
Look, just swings her racket with a hope and it comes off the frame of the racket. Keeps the rally going. Well, I think we might see an awful lot of these long rallies.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the shuttles are a little bit heavy here today. We saw Yamaguchi being able to put a lot of pressure on the forehand side of Okuhara in the women's singles from the side where she presumably was playing with the drift. And just get a sense from the first 3 rallies here that they're not that fast.
Oh, string's gone in
in Juhl's racket.
Yeah, makes her way forward. Yeah, just, and again. That's extraordinary.
Now she's at a position where she might consider changing it.
Yeah, running off.
She's close to the kit boxes.
She must have played about 5 or 6 shots with broken strings.
Yeah.
Well, that's good concentration, I have to say, by the Japanese pair.
Yeah.
3-1. Quick. You want to hit?
Well, the Danes, we saw in the head-to-heads that they've beaten the Japanese pair, the Olympic champions, 6 times out of the 15 meetings. The worrying thing for the Dane is that out of the 6 times that they won, 5 of them have been either in Singapore Open or Japan Open. Only once have they beaten them outside these 2 venues, and that was in the 2012 Super Series finals, and a lot has happened to the playing level of Matsutomo and Takahashi since 2012. Had a good chance, of course, at the Olympics, leading 19-16 in the decider. But
Service over.
I wasn't going to mention that,
3.
Steve.
no. No, but I actually feel that the Danes have come out stronger after the Olympics. They're definitely still hungry and have played very consistent, in my opinion, since the Olympics at a very high level.
4-2.
Yeah, that's emphasised by the fact that this is their 5th final in their 7th tournament this year.
Yeah, and they had a chance. Had they won the Indonesian Open, they would have been #1 in the world for at least this week here. Didn't calculate what it would mean long term, but
5.
that would have been a remarkable achievement for a pair that started as some sort of hobby next to the mixed doubles play.
Yes, because they were both so highly successful at mixed doubles. Left-handed Juhl, former world champion with Thomas Laybourne in Hyderabad in 2009. And of course, Christinna Pedersen won a bronze medal at the London Olympic Games in mixed doubles with Jochen Fischer. Yes, and I seem to recall that one of the Danish coaches at the time, when the 2 players there said, well, we might as well play some women's doubles at the same time. We're going to the tournaments, the same tournaments for our mixed doubles. And I think one of the coaches was a little bit against it because he felt that may detract their focus and their practice towards their mixed doubles discipline. Is that right?
It might have been so. I think that was at least how the 2 players felt. That weren't really
3-6.
getting the support they wanted. But I mean, if you start out as a spare time project, then it's limited how much attention you could require actually from the coaches. I think we saw the level of...
Oh, slide.
Yeah, I think we saw the level of Kamilla Juhl drop a little bit in the mixed doubles. She's not a natural front court player, so she definitely needed specific practice in that area. I mean, if you divide some time to women's doubles, then it's limited how much you can practice with the mixed. But won medals, silver medals at both the Olympics and the World, so it's definitely paid dividends to team up.
Not to mention the 4 European golds.
Yeah.
good judgment. Well,
Takahashi girls.
the fact that I was saying that the Japanese pair could become the 6th different pair to win at the 6th Super Series event of the year in the women's doubles discipline, could also become the 3rd different Japanese pair to win this year at Super Series level. Well, we were just talking in the previous final, Steen, about the strength in depth in women's singles, and the same is true in women's doubles. We saw the Super Series standings just a moment ago, and 4 Japanese pairs in the top 10.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's not unreasonable to think that Akane Yamaguchi's goal with playing badminton, winning the Yuba Cup to Japan, could become reality in 2018. Got a great team, obviously.
Oh, good return of serve.
They struggle a little bit, Takahashi and Matsutomo, when playing against Chen Jingchen and Jia Yifan, but they really got the number of the Chinese yesterday, winning in 2 straight games. That was perhaps not surprising, but the result of the game, 2 straight games, was a little bit surprising to me. I didn't feel the Japanese played that well in Indonesia, but looks to be on form here.
Yeah, well, the Japanese lost first round of Indonesia, didn't they, as the number 1 seeds lost to Huang Yaoxiang and Yu Xiaohan.
Service over. 6-8.
Oh, that's it.
Presenting an easy opportunity
Service
for
over.
Matsutomo.
9-6.
Let's see how she goes about with her serve, her low serve.
Play.
Sometimes struggling.
Missed it. Yeah, and I wonder why,
10,
if that's the reason
6.
why she used the flick. Struggling with her low serve. She's been doing so for months now.
And we can see Christinna Pedersen, she backs off, but not struggling so much that she
11-6.
can't serve a low
Interval.
serve.
So after just 11 minutes of play, a 5-point advantage for the gold medalists from Rio, Matsutomo and Takahashi.
結構いいよ。ね、配球の高さ、一瞬先にもアウトけど、すごく両方ともフォアフォアのセンターをもうちょっと続けるように。あとポジションを送れたら自分たち攻め方作れるように。それ忘れない。ずっと上げてるのあまり良くないだからサーブまで落ち着いてね。あと本当にこう出たら日本だけや。もう一回我慢すれば自分のリズムが取れる感じが来る。はい、それ前にもう一回大丈夫。
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Thank you, coach.
Kai Nakajima, the main coach for the Japanese pair, and Kenneth Jonassen
11-6.
for the Danes.
Play.
This time she punished the low serve, Christinna Pedersen.
7-12.
as accurate as is required in terms of height over the net.
Maximum. 8-12.
She started to play some mixed doubles again, Matsutomo.
8-12.
Both Indonesia and here she was entered into the mixed doubles. Interesting to see her as a mixed doubles player, because I mean she really improved as a front court player in women's doubles.
Service
sort
over.
of helped the Japanese pair get to number 1 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the world ranking.
Yeah, here she reached the quarterfinal with Yuko Kobayashi, a left-hander.
I guess it could also be some
Service
kind
over.
of extra motivation. I mean, they've won the
9-13.
Olympics, number 1 in the world and so on, so sometimes it might be nice to play a category where you can really make good results, where you are not the favorite all the time you play.
Yeah. And to have a new challenge as well.
Exactly.
Service over. 14-9. Kamilla.
Also, Juhl moves a little back from the line.
Can't help but wonder whether
Kamilla.
the semi-final yesterday for the Danes, lasting an hour and 24 minutes, and it was an emotional roller coaster ride, wasn't it? Because they had those 3 match point opportunities in the second game, but still had to play the third. And I wonder if that's perhaps taken a little bit of a toll on them.
I think it has, and not only the semi-final, because they actually had the chance to make it a relatively easy semi-final, winning it in 2 straight games. Had to work even more and qualified for the final, but they also had a very difficult quarterfinal where they had to survive 3 match points. So
yes.
they could be a spent force, and then they play the Olympic champions here, where they know they have to be at their best to beat them, and
Yeah.
not the best of start and so on. So a comeback from the Danes, that would be really great. Good achievement.
Yeah. Just getting in each other's way there is a sign to me, perhaps, of the emotional fatigue. You don't think as clearly.
And of course, to outsiders it might sound strange. I mean, you're in the final, aren't you totally fired up? Yes, they are. It's just
17,
unconscious
9.
and so on. It's they know they're going on a little holiday after this tournament, 1 week or so, and then they start the practice for the World Championships. So it just takes its toll on you to play day in and day out, and especially if you have to use a lot of mental energy. Winning matches easy, doesn't take as much energy as these 3-game matches. Good read there. They're having trouble scoring, the Danes. They have to work really hard for their points.
18-9.
Come on, shouts Christinna Pedersen.
Oh, that's good placement of the smash from Ayaka Takahashi.
19-9.
And here, for instance, the movement back from that drop shot by Kamilla Rytter seems a little bit slower than when you're totally alert and fired up.
Oh, it's landed on the line.
Service over. 10-19. On court. On court. Matsutomo.
Placement from Juhl. So again, points galore for the
Service
Olympic
over.
gold medalists.
20, game point, 10.
And it's the first game a little bit like the one we saw in women's singles, where it hasn't really been the firework we hoped for. Yep.
Game.
21-10 opening game for the number one seeds, Misaki, Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi.
Matsutomo,
Only
Ayaka
20 minutes
Takahashi,
needed for
21,
game number one.
10.
一つ気をつけてね、ドライブレシーブ気をつけてね、分かるんですよ、結構多いから。伸びる。高ければ高さ修正すれば大丈夫。ちょっと伸びる方にドライブできるように飛ぶんですよ。あと、最終的にピンを後ろ運んでいって、ちょっとナイスペース。
干吧，干吧。
准备，对呀。
Det er deres go-to, når de skal smash væk. Okay? Hurtig afvikling. Så skal vi tro på, at vi bliver nødt til at gå ind, så vi bliver nødt til at tro på, at det er siderne. Vi har også været klart bedst hele turneringen herovre fra. Okay? Kom så, Pia. Okay? Og så husk, vi behøver ikke så foran, vi skal holde os inde nu.
Ja.
So we just caught the end of what Kenneth Jonasson was saying to Juhl and Pedersen. Anything specific there, or was that more of the encouragement at the end of that pep talk?
There was a little bit of encouragement, but the Danes have played significantly better on this side of
Second game.
the court in all the other matches as well. So I think Kenneth feels that they're a little bit down, the girls, and he needs to get them up and make them believe that they can come back here. He also said remember, we don't need to get ahead in the beginning. We just need to stay in it.
Service over.
And
1 love.
couldn't agree more. When you lost the first game with 10, you can't expect to just suddenly race ahead with 3 or 4 points. You've got to stop the run from the opponent. And, the last thing he said was a smash with a quick release, and that to me is a clear indication that the
Service
shuttle's a bit
over.
slow today.
1 all.
Affected by the pressure of the air pressure inside and outside, and it's a beautiful day outside here in Sydney. So high air pressure means the shuttle flies a little bit slower.
2 1. One.
They look tired to me, the
4
Danes.
1.
Yeah, I agree.
The body language, it's a tired-looking body language.
Yeah, finds the back line. And I have to say the Japanese pair are looking very
They look
sharp.
in form.
5
Yeah.
Exactly.
1.
Definitely out to revenge the outing they had in Indonesia.
Play.
Well, I know this
Service over.
women's doubles is
2 5.
far from over yet, Steen, but I mean, history could be created today because it's only the second time in Super Series history that Japanese players have been contesting 3 finals at one Super Series tournament. The only other time they did it was at last year's All England Championships. And Japan has never won
Christinna, Pedersen,
3
challenges
titles, as we've got a
called
challenge
in.
here. Japan has never won 3 titles at the same Super Series tournament.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. Oof. Out by a whisker. My goodness me.
Correction out. 3 5. Play.
Oh, brilliant. The placement of the smash is there from Takahashi. Absolutely superb. She apologises for hitting her
Service
opponent. First the
6-3.
interception from Matsutomo, but the final smash was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so difficult for the left-hander defending naturally with a backhand action. Aim just across the body towards her forehand side. It's fabulous. was a sharp smash to end with from Pedersen.
Service over.
Look at that. Look at that. The one that Matsutomo gets back there from Juhl. She's standing on the service line, hitting at Misaki Matsutomo, and she still managed to get it back and challenges the Danes to create 2 more good shots to win the rally.
Service over. 7-4. Shuttle. Shuttle. Change. No play. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Play.
This is also it's a little bit funny because Kamilla, you will ask the umpire, can you see it from there that the shuttle is okay? And the umpire says yes. But you don't make these kind of conversations when you're ahead and you're feeling well.
Yes, but I could see
It was a bit fluffy.
the
shuttle.
feathers are fluffed up,
Yeah.
and when the
Fine.
feathers are fluffed up, then there's more surface area exposed, and therefore more air resistance. It's
Yeah.
going to be slower.
Yeah. But I think the Danes, they should have been changing the shuttle from the beginning of the match.
As in asking for a faster speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they have this speed here, they need to change it very often because that's gone in wide. With each rally, the shuttle gets slower. It's get a little bit fluffy in the feathers
Service
and so on.
over.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it consistently, then the umpires, they will probably not allow it.
Service over.
A
9-5.
little sign of frustration there from Kamilla Juhl. That's a great return of the flick serve.
Service over. Quick. On court. 6-9.
Always landed in. That's a perfect shot from Takahashi. No wonder she gives a little nod towards her coaches.
10-6. Change.
Look at that. That's perfect.
Kamilla. Come. 10-6.
Pedersen stands a little back from the service line again, and
10.
that invokes a low serve from Matsutomo. It's not a bad serve. I just feel that when she's serving, she actually has the advantage when flicking.
Hold. Service over. 11-7. Interval.
So a 4-point advantage. And the Olympic champions are looking very good at the moment.
狙いのはペダースをもうちょっと多めに、ジュリア元気だから、ちょっと甘かったらパンとこれを先に回ってチャンスがある。で、あとボールはもっと自分のところまっすぐに切るように。で、攻め込むとか全部忘れないように。配球気をつけて配球。
siger, ikke også? Altså, jeg føler...
Change. Seven. Play.
Oh, challenge.
Christinna
was
Pedersen,
called
challenges called in. Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 12-7.
They've got to keep up here,
Play.
the Danes, if they are to make a comeback.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Matsutomo and Takahashi, they're going to run away with it. In straight games. The service return.
Service over. 8-12. Service over.
I think the
13.
Danes need to come forward in that
8.
flat game. They can't just stand back and play flat. It won't give them any advantage. And they have trouble scoring in their offense. Got to try and do something on their first smash, so it's not as predictable.
14,
Prevent the Japanese pair
8.
from getting into their normal defensive rhythm. Put some pressure on in the flat game. That's the recipe for the Danes, in my opinion, right now. Whereas for the Japanese team, they've mixed it up beautifully in the attack. Attacked a couple of times. If they don't get to a better position, then play the Danes team backcourt.
Service over. 9-14.
Good service from Juhl.
10-14. Matsutomo, play.
Here, for instance, try to flick and invoke a flat smash and counter. Too well placed from Matsutomo.
Service over. 15-10.
Oh, good return. Another one lands in.
And that's fantastic defense from the Japanese pair, but exactly the thing that the Danes should avoid, and they haven't been able to
10. Kamilla,
get another
Kamilla,
result
show
than
me.
this.
Just hold it up. Just hold it up. Change. Change. $16-10. Yes.
Well, it had been a mishit from Matsutomo,
17-10.
and then it was a mishit from Juhl.
But that's a situation where there's some opportunities for the Danes, because if the shuttles are a little bit slow, then if they can push on the service return and both follow up on the front court, there should be some possibilities there. Didn't work this time, though. Good lift.
Oh, yes. Well, I have to say, Takahashi her placement of her smashes has been fantastic today.
And the power.
18,
The power, because
10.
she's been hitting through the Danish defense.
Yeah. With slow shuttles.
Yeah.
Service over. 11-18.
She's looked sharp. You talked earlier, Steen, about how
Service
she improved
over.
her front court game by playing mixed doubles.
19,
Matsutomo,
11.
but both the Japanese players, I was singing the praises of Takahashi just a moment ago. They've both played very well.
They have, and I mean, you can see the Japanese coaches, they're looking very satisfied on the chairs, and no reason not to. They played a brilliant game. Brilliant tournament.
Yeah. And now match point opportunities to take their first Super Series title of the year.
Match point 11.
Good rally. Oh, and a lucky net cord for the Danes.
Yes, change.
Then again, the
change.
Japanese in total control of the rally, and the serve win that you can see in
12-20.
a short while. The Danes, they just hadn't enough in the tank to challenge them today. I think those two tough matches in the quarter and the semi-final,
Yeah.
they've taken its toll on them.
Yeah, I agree. I did wonder before the start of the match whether it would happen. Oh, another net cord.
So that's the plan for the rest of the match. We hit the net cord and then the winner.
Easier said than done, Steen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you never know. Look at that. Second time in two rallies.
Thank you. 13-20.
Opportunity. The Olympic champions Misaki, Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi win their first Super Series title of the year. 21-10, 21-13 in a match lasting 41
Match one,
minutes.
Misaki, Matsutomo, Ayaka Takahashi, 21-10, 21-13.
And it means that the 6 women's doubles Super Series titles this year have gone to 6 different pairs. And now a third different Japanese pair. But how well they played today. The Olympic champions showed us exactly why they won that gold medal in Rio last year. Superb performance. 21-10, 21-13 in 42 minutes.
umpire and service judge to the presentation stage. Presenting a token of appreciation is Robert Jordan, Yonex Australia brand manager. Umpire, Kelly Hall, Australia. Service judge, Richard Ting, Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the runners-up for the Crown Group Australian Badminton Open 2017. Kamilla Rytter, Christinna Pedersen, Denmark.
Well, it was their third Super Series tournament final this year.
Presenting the silver medal.
But the winners of Singapore here in Sydney
Badminton World
have to
Federation,
settle for second
Vice
best, as
President
indeed they did
Oceania.
at this year's All England Championships. But it is still a remarkable start to the year. 5 finals from 7 tournaments played.
Presenting the MetLife Trophy and a gift from Badminton Australia is Nigel Skells, Badminton World Federation Council member. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our runners-up again, Kamilla and Christinna from Denmark. And our champions for women's doubles at the Crown Group Australian Badminton Open 2017, Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi, Japan.
Well, they were beaten finalists here 3 years ago. This year, the Olympic champions Matsutomo and Takahashi leave Sydney as champions also of the Australian Open. An 8th Super Series title that they have won throughout their career, but the first for 2017.
I'd like to welcome back Mr. Nigel Skells from the Badminton World Federation to present the MetLife Trophy and boomerang.
Congratulations.
You want us to come at the same time?
No.
Different years.
Different years.
Okay.
Well done. Thank you.
And presenting the cup to the women's doubles champions, Mr. Robert Jordan. Please congratulate again our winners of the women's doubles, Misaki Matsutomo, Ayaka Takahashi, Japan.
So what a wonderful victory for the Japanese pair. The Olympic champions are now winners of the Australian Open. Next up is men's singles.
If you travel just under a couple of hours north of Sydney, the vineyards stretch as far as the eye can see. The locals are ready to welcome you to wine country. If gourmet getaways are your thing, the Hunter Valley is the place for you with more than 150 wineries. The cellar door experience is only rivaled by the setting, so whether you're planning a romantic escape or feeling like fun with friends, make sure you head to the Hunter.
So next up is men's singles final, and both players unseeded. Of course, it's the winner last week, Shrikant Kidambi, in his third consecutive Super Series tournament final, because he was also in the final in Singapore, where he lost to his teammate Sai Praneeth. He's up today against the reigning world and Olympic champion Chen Long of China. As far as the men's singles Super Series standings are concerned, the reward for Shrikant Kadambi is the fact that he will be the #1 on that list at the end of this tournament. Whether he wins or loses today's final, he will swap places with Chao Tien Chen. As you can see, Chen Long isn't even on the list, but I believe he will enter the top 10. He's currently at 16 in the world. Xiu Qi, who's currently at #7 after his semi-final here, he will go to #3. Well, as far as the men's singles draw is concerned, only 4 different nations involved at quarter-final stage, 4 Chinese players, and that 4 Chinese players was down to 2 by the semi-final stage. And as you can see, Shrikant Kadambi coming through against the former champion Chen Long, coming through the bottom half of the draw against the veteran Lee Hyun-il from Korea. Shrikant Kadambi. What a run of good form he has enjoyed. Well, despite Chen Long not being seeded, he is, in many people's opinion, the best player in the world, and I think his status as reigning world and Olympic champion